Hello folks, this is 2021 May-June paper 1-3 and the question number is 30. It belongs to the chapter of superposition of waves. As you can see, terms like diffraction, grating, like that. It says a beam of light of a single wavelength, monochromatic wave, that means is incident normally on a diffraction grating, of course. The angle of diffraction theta is measured for each order of diffraction n. So this is the order of diffraction, first, second, third, or zeroth. This is the angle made by the direction of one of the fringes with the central line. The distance between adjacent slits in the diffraction grating is d. So d is the diffraction spacing they call as. A graph is plotted to determine the wavelength of the light. So of course they do it. Which graph should be plotted and how is the wavelength determined from the graph? So the main equation governing all these three quantities is d sine of theta is equal to n lambda, or lambda n, let us say lambda n here, because here we have to vary this n and the lambda is constant, so it is lambda n. The equation is this. So now what we need to do is we need to find which of these choices would help us in determining the wavelength. So let's go for the first. So it says n in the y-axis. It says n in the y-axis and x in, and d sine theta in the x-axis. So let me change it. So when I change it, it becomes n is equal to d sine of theta by lambda, which can be changed as n is equal to 1 by lambda then d sine of theta. So now this is drawn in the y-axis, this is in the x-axis, then this is the gradient g, large G, let us say. So that means g is equal to 1 by lambda, and lambda will be equal to 1 by the gradient, So that means in choice number A we have n in the y-axis, okay, d sine theta x-axis, okay, and wavelength equal gradient. It's not correct. It is not correct. So this is the wrong choice. The second one has n and this is okay. Now lambda is equal to 1 by g, 1 by gradient. So this thing is correct. This thing is correct. Now if I go through other choices, definitely they should be wrong because we can't have two correct choices. So let's do it. Let's just try it. So here it says that in the y-axis we should have sine theta. So let's do it. So I change it here. So sine theta is equal to lambda n by d. It requires x in the x-axis we should have d by n. So in the x-axis we should have d by n. So I can't have d by n here. I can't have d by n in the x-axis. So I can do it. And in the other it says n in d. I can't have n d in the x-axis. So it's also not correct. If I do if I use sin theta in y-axis, I can't have this in the x-axis and this in the x-axis. So both of these things are incorrect. So choice number B is the correct and the only choice.